Okay. All right. So here's the Biofield tuning anatomy. And what we do when we first start a session is we work between the feet and then above the head. And between the feet, what we've termed the Earth Star, this energy point that grounds us into Earth, really helps relax the sympathetic nervous system. So that fight or flight response, it gives that a break so that we can relax. Oftentimes, people will fall asleep when I'm in the Earth Star, and that's okay. That's your body deeply relaxing. So if you kind of doze in and out of this session today, that's perfectly normal and perfectly fine. Just in case somebody has to get off the call early today, want to let you know that afterwards, even if you do get off the call, you're still with the intention of being on the table, but there is homework. The homework will be to drink water, take an Epsom salt bath or an Epsom salt foot bath, and to ground. So go barefoot outside, and I know it's winter in a lot of places. If you can, if you have a grounding mat or grounding sheets, those work, or else at least go put your hands on a tree for 10 minutes, just so that your body knows where ground is. Our energy fields go to ground, and this is not like alternative medicine. This is like 27 clinical trials done on the effects of grounding, and it reduces inflammation, stress, anxiety. I often recommend getting grounding sheets or a biomat or anything that's going to ground you while the weather's not really that great. So on my website, on glorianafontaine.com, on my blog section, there's a title called Get Grounded, and that helps with stress, anxiety, inflammation, and there's a whole bunch of information on there. There's a video that even made a documentary about grounding with doctors and researchers. So if anybody's feeling a little stressed or their fear and anxiety is coming up, I'm going to recommend just taking a look, doing some research. We have time now. Look into the grounding. And if you want, I have an email already set up that I send to my clients with it, all the information. Feel free to just email me or shoot me a message and I'll send that out. Okay, so with that fear and anxiety and our nervous systems, our sympathetic nervous systems being on overdrive at the moment, I'm going to spend a lot more time in that Earth Star and that Sun Star, grounding and connecting us so that our energies have somewhere to go, so that they're not getting built up in our system until we feel like we're going to explode or lose it or cry or whatever that might look like. Crying's fine, but just a buildup of stress can be taxing. And again, like every house has a grounding rod in it. So that third on the outlets, the third prong, that round one on the bottom is a grounding outlet. In case lightning hits the house, it has somewhere to go. It goes to ground. Basically, we're getting hit by lightning right now, and we got to make sure we're telling the energy to go to ground. I can talk about this all day, but I'll spare you. If you have any more questions, feel free to just message me. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to spend a lot of time in these energy centers, calming the sympathetic nervous system. And then I will see how it feels and check out the other energy points on the body. We use a little pendulum, and I just go up the table. The table's behind me right here. And what we do is we stack energy fields on the table. So my intention is anybody listening to this recording now, or that ever will listen to the recording in the future, is here present on the table now, but if you're not on the call now, you're not downloading it, is It's how energy works. And it works. I've been doing this for 4 years. Biofield tuning has helped me immensely. And yeah, it's helped many of my clients come off of medications, deal with Lyme disease, depression, allergies, and most of all, stress and anxiety. All right, so I'm gonna leave the chat box open for any questions at the moment. Feel free to send them my way. And what I'm going to do is, well, you'll let me know how the video is going. If you can hear me, then great. If not, I'll shut the video off and we will start to tune. And again, if you fall asleep, that's perfectly okay. And I will refrain from talking too much during this so that you can get a real sense of relaxation. Oftentimes I'm talking through this, even in group distance sessions such as these, which I host every couple of weeks. And I talk more often, but the point of today's call is to give ourselves a break, give our nervous systems a break, give our minds a break, and just take this time to reset, relax, and do whatever it needs, your body needs right now. All right, so if any questions, raise your hand, put them in the chat box. If not, then I'm going to start. Okay, yeah, Peter, do you recommend we lay down or sit in a specific way? Great question. I recommend that you lay down, but you can sit or lay however you like, whatever's most comfortable for you. Like if you were gonna relax, maybe even take a nap, what position would you get in? And that's what I would recommend. So I see some of the folks on the call are my clients. So just like you would be, if you were here in person with me, you would be on the table, and some of you have fallen asleep. And that's, again, I'm totally fine. So just to give you a little demonstration, I will be using tuning forks that make sound and tuning forks that don't. These weighted tuning forks don't make a sound, but there's a new pair. It's a 144 and an 89 hertz. It's part of the Fibonacci sequence. So they're really good at breaking up stuck energy. Actually, I'll go into this. Biofield tuning, in Biofield tuning, we use the solfeggio frequency for our tuning forks. The solfeggio frequency, if anybody's interested, is if you tune your A note to 444, you get the rest of them. So, and the ones that we use are 174 hertz, 417, and 528. One of the things about Biofield, about the solfeggio frequency that called me to Biofield tuning is all the frequencies add up to 3, 6, or 9. And being a fan of Nikola Tesla, he had a quote, I don't remember it verbatim, but it basically goes, if you understand the power of 3, 6, and 9, you have the keys to unlock the universe, or something to that effect. I should learn it by heart. But so though the solfeggio frequency holds a special place in my heart, and that's actually why I got called to Biofield tuning in the first place. And then the other tuning forks that we use are part of the Schumann resonance. And the Schumann resonance is the frequency of planet Earth. It's a 7.83. So we have a 54.81 and a 62.64. And essentially what those are the 7th and 8th harmonic of the Schumann resonance. And when we use both of them at the same time, because one is just one harmonic above the other, the binaural beat creates a 7.83, which is the Schumann resonance. So oftentimes, in order to help people get grounded and centered, we'll use those tuning forks. And again, those are weighted, so you won't hear them. But if I keep the video on, if everybody gives me a thumbs up and the video is working great, then I'll keep the video on and you can see. But I would actually recommend you close your eyes, you get comfortable either way, laying down or sitting. And yeah, just enjoy. It'll go for about an hour or so. And I don't rush things, but I just feel into it, and I feel when it's good to stop, it's good to stop. All right, any more questions? Marlene, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay. All right, I was told I was getting cut off, so if the signal is choppy, let me know if this is better. I apologize. The Wi-Fi here on the island has been super choppy this week. So we also have rainstorms. Am I still getting cutting off, Elsa? Let me know. All right, I'm moving all of you over to my massage table anyway. Good, great, perfect. All right. So I hope everybody is comfy, and we're gonna go ahead and start. Just take a nice deep breath in and out through your mouth. Setting the intention today that anybody here now on the call or that listens to it in the future is here now. And know that for this hour that we're together, I am holding space for you. Holding space for you to relax, to purge, to decompress. Whatever it is that you need right now, know that you're being held in a really safe place and container. Okay. I come with sound effects, so you're gonna hear me breathing out. Just like that. Know that that's our way of moving energy. But you can also take that as a sign to possibly breathe yourself. We spend a lot of time holding in our breath, scrunching up our shoulders, and holding tension in our bodies. And we hold that tension in our bodies by holding our breath. There we go. So I'm going to invite all of you to recognize and notice when you're holding a breath, and invite you to breathe through that and consciously release. Great. Good. Yeah, so I'm sure you can all hear the overtones of the tuning fork. Overtones in the biofield tuning world means alarm, stress, anxiety. Most of all, it's alarm. So there's quite a lot of alarm sitting here that's waiting to be grounded out. And on my end, I can feel a certain amount of uncertainty, a little bit of nervous uncertainty, right in sort of like the stomach area, that solar plexus area. Even though I'm between your feet, that's where I'm noticing it. So there we go. Know that this is an opportunity to send all this energy to ground. Yeah. It also feels like we've used up a lot of our reserved energy. So it feels like that's asking to be refilled today as well, which I'll work on. So another thing that I'm seeing in my mind's eye here is we're all putting our shields up. And it's kind of similar to going to battle a few hundred years ago with actual swords and shields. Kind of that memory of fighting is coming up here. So I'm just inviting everyone to just, even if it's just for today or just for this hour, to place your shields down and open up to calm, serene, graceful, peaceful energy. Nice. If you're feeling any heat fluctuation, like if you're getting hot or cold, know that that's normal. That happens in many sessions. Energy shifting. And the same if your stomach starts to gurgle. What's what we say, digesting the energy. Good, I'm going to use a couple of the weighted forks now. There we go. That feels like that just shifted, got a little lighter there. Great. So I'm using the 144 weighted fork below your feet in the Earth Star to get grounded. I'm about 7, 8 inches below the feet. Yeah, lots of digestion issues or anxieties coming up at the moment. I'm just gonna hang out in this spot until it fully relaxes and gives me a clear signal. Beautiful. Good. There's another wave that just passed over. Okay, let's see what kind of signal we're getting with that 174. Nice. So just notice what you're feeling. Is it feeling lighter? So less heavy? Just take a note. I'm noticing that the Earth Star feels a lot lighter, freer, like there's a little bit more room. And so I'm going to continue on and go into what we call the deep Earth Star. Nice. Good. Nice. So it's interesting. Many of you have been on my calls before, but if you haven't, I tend to see or sense things in the field, and it doesn't necessarily have to be this lifetime. And this is a collective, it's a group call. And so what I'm feeling, interestingly enough, is a collective energy of not being able to move our feet, which is showing me like feeling tied up, like with everyday work, like if we were on a farm or before we had travel, or maybe there was even like prison, or just the old memories, cellular memories that work through all of us, of not having the ability of space and movement to go where we want. So that's also possibly some deep cellular memory on one or all of us on today's call. Could also be collective energy. There we go. There. All right. I'm going to use, again, those 2 weighted forks in the deep earth star. That felt good. All right. Oh. Nice. So that's feeling a lot happier to me. Less stuck, calmer. Good. All right, so I'm going to move above your heads now in the sun star.
It's interesting. Up here in the sun star, I'm feeling like it's almost like a wet cloth being wrung out and twisted really tight. The first thing that comes to mind is our thoughts and our putting our shields up kind of close off this connection to our higher selves, our intuition, the part that calmly leads us through life. Probably from putting us in a fight or flight response nowadays. So activating that sympathetic nervous system, and there we go. So I'm just going to iron out that, unring the cloth, or loosen up the information, or the path to the information of our higher selves. Nice. Good job, guys.
Okay, again, I'm going to use the 144 and the 89 to break up some of this energy. And really what I'm seeing, feeling, hearing is follow, it's hard to put into words sometimes, our spirit, our intuition, that part of us that knows who's calling on the phone before we pick it up, that gut feeling feels like it has been dialed down quite a bit. And I'm going to ask you to consciously tap into your own intuition with just, it tends to have a softer guidance. So it doesn't put us into fear mode like the media can, but it tells us maybe to call a friend or bake a cake or go for a walk. Finding that in yourself, returning to that to help with your nervous system during these times. There we go. Ugh. Right now I'm using the 144 fork, which is very much the yang grandmother. So yin is feminine, yang is masculine. And this is the yang grandmother. So these two forks, the 144 and then the 89 is the yin grandfather. They help balance that masculine negative energy. And I have noticed that the 144 can really go in and break up stuck energy, unwind it. Actually, I kind of even see her as like one of those badass ladies in Kung Fu Hustle. See her as like an Asian grandma sweeping us, like, get out of my house with the broom. Like she kind of does this sweeping of the field, getting stuck energy out of it. It's comical. I really love this fork. Here we go. Not sure if anybody has a right side of their neck, any pains, and if somebody else is experiencing or has been experiencing headaches, that is also what is coming up here. There we go. Good. Nice. Okay. Good. I'm going to use a crystal in the field, a clear quartz crystal with the 89 fork, the yin grandfather. There we go. Just to soften things up. Here we go. There. Good. Nice job. All right, that's feeling good up here. I'm going to now use the pendulum and douse the body and see if anything else needs to be cleared. Okay, here we go. Feet. Nice. How's that root? Okay. Okay. So I'm picking up on the right side of the root chakra, which is often related to busyness, overdoing, and overthinking, funny enough. Yeah, physically and mentally doing too much. And yeah, it's just the busy body, busy mind. So I'm gonna just come in here and lightly work on, well, not lightly, but I'll work on the right side and then clear that root chakra. Here we go. For those of you that are new to biofield tuning, we start about 6 feet away from the body and work our way in. So this table, there we go. So I'm working off the right side of your root chakra. The root chakra is pretty much where the base of your tailbone, like where you would connect in to ground also. It's a very primal energy. There we go. That feels much better. So oftentimes the right side of the root chakra is the busy, 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 go, go, go. So I was actually kind of surprised when the right side of the root chakra appeared to be worked on today, but it's making sense to me now. It's also the overthinking, the busyness of our mind, not just our physical bodies. So it is a nice reminder to not only give our bodies some time to rest, but our mind. Getting this frustrated teenager feeling here. It kind of goes along with the feeling of not being able to do what we want, having our feet move that came up earlier. Yeah, I think this is testing our feelings, our perspective of freedom. Definitely clearing out some old cellular memory of not having that freedom. Freedom to move about. There we go. Okay, and another sticky spot about let's see, a little over a foot off the body. And right around this time, sometimes it can get uncomfortable or feel like there's more weight than there was before. That's okay. I'm just moving in closer to the body. And we're going to be dropping into that root chakra. So we're taking the energy from the field, neutralizing it, or entraining it into coherence with the frequency of the tuning forks. And then once I drop into the root chakra, I'll be clearing that. So it's going to look like from the table up towards the ceiling, or from your root chakra up towards the ceiling. There we go. Good. So I'm dropping into the root chakra. It's feeling calmer, and I'm going to start to column. So to clear that energy. Nice. So I'm getting pretty clear signal. Just gonna go over this a couple more times. There we go. Ugh, right there. All right. And with the 144 and the 89, those two weighted forks. Nice. Very good. All right, there we go. Voila, there. That was really nice and clear. So take a nice deep breath in and out. If you need to move around and stretch, that's perfectly okay and warranted. I kind of feel like I need to stretch it out as well. And before we finish, I'm just going to, we've now cleared that root chakra. I'm going to just double check, make sure everything is clear, and then put you all into a cocoon of love before opening up for any questions, comments, or concerns. All right, here we go. Feet in. All right. Beautiful. That's all rocking and rolling. And to close up the session, I'm going, like I said, put you in the cocoon of love, which is my favorite part. So here we go. There, that feels nice. For those of you who don't know what the cocoon of love is, I'm starting at your feet and hooping over your body to your knees, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, going up your body, feet, knees, hips, and so on to the top of your head, and then back down, cocooning you in the 528 frequency. So here we go, one more time, and it's 11:11, so let's one more cocoon. Beautiful. Voila, guys, you have been tuned and cocooned. I will see if I can start my video up. Let me know if it gets choppy. But in the meantime, if you need to stretch, drink some water, go to the bathroom, which you could have done during the session as well. I'm open for any questions or comments. You can either raise your hand or put them in the chat box. Oftentimes after a session, I call it the post Biofield tuning high. If you kind of don't really know what's going on right now, where you are, you're super zenned out, maybe some of you are sleeping, that's perfectly normal and perfectly fine. The energy or the tuning session will continue to adjust over the next few days. So I really do recommend doing the homework, which is drinking plenty of water, taking an Epsom salt bath or a foot bath, and which is very good. Get those negative ions. That's what happens when you ground. So if you can take an Epsom salt bath, please do. A nice warm Epsom salt bath or foot bath works as well. And if you really can't do either, try out a salt scrub. I don't even care if you take the salt from your kitchen. Just, I want you to get some salt in and around your field. And then grounding. If you're in an area where you can go barefoot, please do. It will be the best thing you've done. If you have a biomat, a grounding mat, any of that, use it. That will make all the difference in the world. Also, and if you can, if you're in the Northeast or North, or if it's winter where you are, please just go outside and hug a tree or put your hands on a tree. No gloves though, no synthetic materials between you and the tree. If you need to cry, if you need to laugh, whatever it is that you are feeling, follow those natural inclinations and just emote. If you feel like you are exhausted over the next few days, please sleep. Really just follow your natural inclinations. Follow what your body is telling you, because I'm telling you right now, sometimes it takes me many days and some to go through the detox symptoms, which is, it could look like fatigue or emotions, whatever it is. You can call me or text me or email me and let me know if you have any concerns. But I will ask you if you've done the homework. So Epsom salt bath, grounding water. I have a question. Can I touch a plant? I live in New York City and there are not many trees in my neighborhood. The problem with the plants in the home is that they're still not connected to ground, but yes, you can do that. Ideally, if you can go find a tree. I'm born and raised in New York City. I hear you. I feel you. I hear you. Ideally, it would be something that's connected to the earth. If you have the time and the resources, I highly recommend getting a grounding sheet or blanket from earthing.com. And that's not just for biofield tuning sessions. That's just like a health maintenance. Yes, feeling sleepy, Maureen, you can just continue to sleep. And now Marlene, I'm going to unmute you. Do you have a question? Or
I have a comment. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I can.
Oh, awesome. I was actually lying down on my kitchen floor, and halfway through, I've been getting this nervous cough, which happens to me. It's not corona, but it happens to me when I get nervous and my throat constricts, and suddenly it opened up and I'm okay. It's amazing, really. And then when I stood up, I was like really woozy. But first of all, I want to thank you so much, because I know that you give everything from your heart and your soul. I feel it. And thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Marlene. Yeah, so I actually was feeling that throat thing during the session. I didn't bring it up, but I'm glad that we dislodged that and we were able to move that through. And Marlene, keep me posted, okay?
Will do.
Thank you for sharing. I'm just going to get to some of these other questions. Okay. I felt when you were doing the tuning like a jump start. Wonderful. Yeah, keep me posted. Thanks for everything. Energies being with me. I was cold on, cried for a few minutes. Yeah, so cold, like I said, any temperature adjustments, super normal. And crying, emote. Listen, we spend our lives bottling up emotions and not dealing with them. And we're now quarantined, we're in our homes, and we have no distractions, and all those emotions are coming up. So if you need to cry, guess what? you just got a free stay-at-home vacation here, or a forced stay-at-home vacation. So please emote. Linda, do you have a question? I see your microphone's unmuted. I just want to make sure I get to everybody.
No, that must have been by accident, but thank you, Gloriana. That was beautiful as always.
Thank you, Linda, for being here. I love seeing you on these calls.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. All right, there is a, yes, it's there. Any more questions, comments, concerns? You can always email me, gloriana@glorianafontaine.com. So my name, that's written right up on the Zoom call. So gloriana@glorianafontaine.com. If you're one of my clients, you're on the call, feel free to text me, keep me posted. I got a clearing in the throat as well. Oh, I'm glad that, okay, I didn't bring up the throat stuff while I was working because things go through my mind so quickly. Perfect. I'm glad that, you know, the throat has a lot to do with our freedom as well, like freedom of expression, feeling like we're going to be judged or, you know, and that's kind of a universal thing that we've been working on for a few years, or for more than a few years, but that throat chakra, feeling the freedom to express ourselves, going to invite you to look into that for yourselves as well. What does that look like? Are you speaking up? Are you communicating? Are you saying what you want to say? How are you talking to yourself? Are you nice to yourself? Are you hard on yourself? And yeah, notice what comes up for you. And I'm here, I'm doing $75 sessions, private sessions until the end of the month, probably until through the first week of April. So if you want a private session, feel free to contact me. Or if you just want to let me know how this session went, if you have any updates. And again, I'm going to repeat myself, but Epsom salt bath, water, grounding, emoting, sleeping if you feel like you need to sleep, and give yourself anywhere from 1 to 2 days to 1 to 2 weeks to finish adjusting. Biofield tuning is a pretty powerful method. Wonderful. How much water should we be drinking? As much as you can. Don't drown yourselves, but I would drink a good like 80 to 100 ounces at least, like a bunch of water. It will really help move the energy. Also, you know, you're welcome. Yeah, just keep me posted. And if you are going to the bathroom a little bit more, that's okay, because everything, just think, better out than in. That's our motto here at Biofield Tuning, better out than in. And if you want, Sumiko and I are both doing a tuning and a clearing call this Saturday. That's all up on my website under audio sessions. And it's like a $34 charge, but there's 2 of us. You get us for an hour and a half or so. And that's good. There's a lot of icky energy coming up to be cleared. So sometimes when the 2 of us are double teaming it, it gets cleared even quicker. So let's see if I can start my video to say goodbye and aloha. And I'm really, really thank you for spending your time with me today. And I send you all off with good wishes, lots of sleep, water, and salt baths. Aloha, guys. Bye.